Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're in day 2 of our second gen XB bag job. We're getting ready to do our tank, and we're going to plumb up the tank, the compressors, plug in the relays, and all the shit to make that work. And then hopefully by the end of the night, we'll be holding air in this thing, and we'll be waiting for Rando to send us the air struts. Then all we have left to do is bolt those in and run a few lines. So right now we're kind of just did a little bit of mock-up. We had to play with this a bit. Obviously when we first did this, I wanted to put all the ports on the backside. The issue we had was we got our nice brand new Viair 480s here, and the issue that we had is our leader hose. Now when I hook this up this way, it's gonna, let me get my arm out of the way so you can see. I'll hook this up briefly like this, and you'll see, oh man, there's so much cord. Well, we played with it. We hooked up the compressors and then played with it in the two different configurations, and they were going to be sucked up so close to the tank that with all the room in here, it was going to be kind of funky. We also decided to ditch the subwoofer enclosure because I think in the earlier videos we talked about mounting the tank on top of that. Obviously our lead hose for that is not long enough, so we ditched that idea for now, and we're going to hook it up in this configuration. So we went ahead, we plumbed these, got these on, used our Teflon tape on them. Just put like 1 or 2 wraps of Teflon on there. We tightened them in. We did the bottom too. We're going to do something a little different with this one because we've only got 4 ports. I wouldn't normally run it like that, but we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to run my 1/4 inch out of this here. We're going to run it down. We're going to put a pressure, the pressure switch and all that's all in our manifold, but we're also going to put another thing in there just in case, you build up too much pressure, it'll pop. So we're going to run that all on the underneath side. Go lay down, dog. These 2 fittings, these are temporary for now. We're going to change them so they'll be chrome or nickel plated, and then we're going to do like a hard line coming down from here, which will be chrome, so it'll look a little nicer. And then depending on how things go, we will hard line in our compressors too. The one thing that you guys need to remember if you're doing a hard line, this right here, this is your, and as I go to say it, it totally goes away from my head.
Check valve.
Check valve. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
There's a check valve in here. What the check valve does is, as the pressure builds up inside the tank, and you finally shut it off, so it shuts off at 160 or 200, depending on what you've got for your pressure switch. The check valve closes. There's a big bar in here, or a lever, and then the pressure actually pushes it back and stops the flow. This keeps that air from coming in and pressing on the compressor. I learned this the hard way by doing mine with air fittings, so that I could have much more lead hose on it, and I ended up burning up 3 of them at one time. So make sure that if you do it, you have some kind of check valve inside. And then obviously make sure which flow it's going. You can see this one here. If I get away from the light, you can see the arrow. Because they are one way. You put it in backwards, it's not going to work. Which would burn up your compressor even faster. But anyway, so we're going to mount that. We've got the tank where we want it. Broke out the measuring tape, measured it, got it centered where we want it. We're going to go and we're going to drill our holes for here and here. Then we'll mount our tank, and then we're going to put the compressors on. And then once we get that done, we'll run our wires for the relay and all that stuff. So more fun with electrical this afternoon, but this is going to be fairly quick. Since we decided to take the sub out, it's going to make it a little easier. Obviously, this is going to be temporary for the, we got 2-3 shows left this season?
Yeah, we got about 3 shows left.
So we're going to run this way. But we're going to kind of cheat. Since we took the sub out, we can now steal our power for the compressors off of the distribution block that we're going to put in there. And not have to run any more wire. Obviously 4 gauge is going to be a little bit too much for this, but we're running a distribution block. We'll feed it out and it'll be fine. But it'll be fused, so, which is a big thing. Make sure everything's fused. So that's where we're at now. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to make Kevin drill the holes because this guy works with wood, and I'm going to make him do the holes because then if something's wrong, I can go, it's his fault. Anyway, basically what we're going to want is I'm going to tell him this right now. What we want to do is I want a drill bit that is the size of that airline.
I got.
And look at that.
64th increments up to ½ inch.
All right, so I'm going to put that on him. He's going to do that. We're going to drill these holes so it's the right size. We're going to do both 3/8 and 1/4 on this because this one under here is 1/4. So we're going to run those and get that done, and then we'll come back and show you what we got.